on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, and Flix Fix is back. Sort of, kind of. Not what you were used to before with myself and Kristen doing long-form conversations about movies, because I don't know how me and any of my co-hosts are getting together this year. Everybody's schedule is what it is and all that kind of thing, but I watch a lot of movies. If you guys follow me on Twitter or any form of social media, you guys know I watch a lot of movies, which means, being the opinionated person that I am, I'm going to come up here and talk about stuff, and I'm going to talk about movies. So when I can't do a proper long-form conversation, deep dive type thing, what I want to try and do with you guys, and you guys can tell me if you're interested or not, is I'm going to come and give you like a quick, I'm aiming for 10 minutes, quick dump of an opinion after I go and see a movie. This won't be necessarily for like stuff I maybe pull out of my library and go watch, because we can do a deep dive on that type of thing, because I'm sitting at home in my own leisure. But by virtue of the fact that I love going to the theater, COVID is over and, you know, theaters are open and I'm going to the theater as much as I can, I'm not going to sit in a theater and take notes. I'm not going to sit in a theater and think, okay, am I going to plot out that point and that point and that point? Am I going to go back and forth with a co-host on what the topics are, what we want to focus on? I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to give you my brief initial thoughts. And my brief initial thoughts are this. I went and saw M3GAN tonight. It's funny because I mentioned that on social media, and the advertising for this is so low-key, a lot of people don't even know what it is. But I'll give you as much as what a trailer would give you, because it's not my goal to come up here and give you guys spoilers per se, but I will give you as much as you would get in a trailer. This aunt, this character Gemma, who's a technological person. I don't think they ever actually quantify what she is, other than she's an inventor of toys for kids and all that kind of thing. She's all of a sudden thrust in a parental situation with her niece Katie after her parents die in a car crash. I will say, the opening scene that takes the parents away is so... Here's the parents, and they're dead now. The crux of the story and the crux of Gemma's life is that she's creating these toys and these AIs for kids. The kid in the opening scene has this rancid little Furby doll looking thing that she plays with on her tablet, and it's really anti-technology, this movie, but it's basically the toys sitting beside her, this little fucking Furby thing, and she's so intricate with how she's playing with the Furby thing on her tablet that she's not even playing with the Furby thing, and the parents are talking about how horrible technology is and why would her aunt give her this and da-da-da-da-da. So it's very, very clear from the off that this movie is trying to just vilify technology. Obviously, kid goes and lives with the aunt. The aunt is working on this thing in secret, this M3GAN project. She's supposed to be working on more of these AI pet things, but secret in the deep dark basement. Picture Lucius Fox in the basement of Wayne Enterprises, collecting all the Bat toys. But while she's working on these little ugly Furby things, she's also built this entire humanoid robot that nobody knows about, but uses about like $80 million of the company's budget, which is a little bit insane. And the way she's going to prove that this thing works is she's going to give it to her niece as a friend, because neither one of them can deal with the fact that her sister has just passed away and she's been thrust into this parenting role that she can't really do. And it's really cold, I will say that. The way they treat it is as if the parents die and the aunt gets a phone call and the aunt's just like, yeah, I'm at the hospital, I'm here to pick up my niece. And that's about it. It's very cold, it's very not what you would expect of a movie these days, where we would focus on the trauma, the healing, the repercussions of such events and all that kind of thing. It does, the ship in that regard does right itself later on in the movie, but in the early going it feels like there's a jump from, okay, you're living with me now, how do we show that she's not a good mom? Okay, she doesn't really have a bedroom for the kids, so she's stuck the kid in her workout room. And how do we show that it's a workout room? Because there's a bike next to the bed. I went into this thinking it was going to be like a Chucky type situation, even though it's like technology rather than something being possessed. And I thought, cookie cutter, that's what it would be. I want to give this movie a lot of credit because it does do a lot of other themes. Obviously it does the theme of loss. It does the theme of, you know, somebody in a parental situation who's not really meant to be in a parental situation, and the guilt that comes along with that. You know, obviously there's the fear of technology and AI and all that kind of thing that goes back in film, back to like Terminator and beyond. But the way they come together, and it's all really cool, and there's existential characters that serve the point of pointing out how messed up the situation is, because the main characters don't get it. Obviously they bring in a grief counselor for the kid at one point. It's not really a spoiler to say that points out, hey, you know, it's not really a cool situation. Like, you're gonna have to, you know, balance your life and being with this kid, which is clearly what has not happened, because she just integrates the kid into her work life instead. You know, it's not really cool that you've created this like fake friend for her that she's gonna learn how to be a human based on, because she doesn't have any human interaction. So they have existential characters. Obviously, it's an AI movie. The AI goes wrong. People start falling. I will say, there's not a huge body count in this movie, and it's not a particularly bloody movie. I mean, there are some comically creative takedowns that this little like 4-foot doll does on people that will make you think about Chucky a little bit. But it's not really bloody. It's not a gory thing. It's not, I wouldn't call it a slasher, anything like that, for any stretch of the imagination. So for that part, the Chucky comparison doesn't really work, but they play it off really well. The damage that these two characters have, obviously the Gemma character who's just lost her sister, who's, you know, in this work situation, who doesn't really know, who's totally lost and trying to keep it all together. Obviously Katie, who's supposed to be playing a 9-year-old. I mean, the actress playing her is clearly a lot older than 9, but that's a thing in TV and movies, is it not? Who starts off really, really cold, and the closer she gets to this new AI friend of hers, the less human and the more robotic she becomes, sort of backing up what the therapist says. So you want to think it's about the doll, but it's really about the kid, but it's really about the mom watching the doll and the kid. So who the movie is really about changes a lot, and I really do like that, because that's interesting. You don't want to just have it, okay, the tech went haywire and now people are dead. They don't linger on the deaths either. The couple key point deaths in the movie are also pretty much given away in the trailer, and most of the people that die make themselves out to be really, really horrendous people that we're not going to miss. So their deaths happen, but it's quickly swept under the rug for the purpose of moving the plot forward. I will say it plays really well with the idea of something bad can happen, but when something bad happens with a kid, it emphasizes everything. Chucky, or the good guy doll in Chucky, was bought for the kid because the kid wanted it, and it was going to make the kid happy and all this type of thing. So the mom goes and finds it. She goes, you know, to the guy behind the store. She goes to those extra lengths to find that doll because that's what the kid wants, because that's what's going to make the kid happy. So there's that sadness there of, this thing that I got that was supposed to make my kids so happy was actually the worst thing that ever happened to him, and it came from me. Very, very similar thing here, where obviously Gemma, the aunt character in this, is going to be carrying the additional weight of, oh my god, this kid just lost her mother, and I have no idea how to deal with that. I have no idea how to be a mother to her. All I can do is do what I do. I've got a tech thing that might help her. This is going to help her. And she convinces herself that it's going to be good for the kid. And she ends up being the one with the guilt of, I brought this terrible thing into my niece's life. And there's a really cool, as I say, some of the Chucky comparison is really apt and some of it doesn't work at all. But it's that whole, not only did I bring this terrible, horrible thing into this kid's life, I had to bring that thing in because it should be me making this kid's life happy and comfortable and safe and complete and all that kind of thing. And there's the more generic, hey, we're scientists and we went too far and rah, rah, rah. There's a little bit of an additional, like, her boss didn't believe in the project that she was doing, but once he found out that it was marketable, then it was pushed forward. It was pushed forward way before it was ready. Comparison being like, hey, we have Jurassic Park. We have the ability to make dinosaurs, but why don't we make sure we can make the park safe before we bring customers in, before we bring, you know, civilians in. No, let's push it forward. Let's just go ahead and open the park. Let's bring the people in. We want to make some money. Very, very similar idea here with the bosses that are like, you know, we really need you to have this demonstration, or, you know, whatever, set for like 2 weeks from now. We didn't believe in you a month ago. Now that we can make some money off of you, we really believe in you, and we're going to push you so hard that you have to have it ready for a display by this date. And in the background, there's another toy company that's mocking off all their toys. So there's a big corporate greed element, because we have to stick that into movies, because all rich people are bad, don't you know? And all the rich bad people are usually men, so there's that commentary as well. I don't really want to get into that. It's just there. We know it's there. But yeah, it's a perfect storm, the way they get to this. If you look at the movie on paper, it's a ridiculous situation, but it's a perfect storm of real-world things that get us to the ridiculous situation, and that's what makes a good sci-fi slash horror slash thriller slash thinking movie. So you've got, you know, the underappreciated worker who's being overworked. You've got the fact that she is a genuine scientist that does want to go and legitimately create new things, and that takes you always to the line of danger. She exposes that danger to the kid that she's trying to help, so there's good intentions there, and obviously there's a kid who's in danger, so that heightens everything. The boss is there, you know, you've got people just on the outside that are like, you're supposed to be the new mother for this kid. Are you really suited to be the best mother for this kid? And then you've got this pain in the ass neighbor that I'm not going to tell you too much about, but she's an absolute fucking Karen, and it's wonderful. And the way they deal with that character is also really, really wonderful. And the last note, the last thing I want to say is it's all reflective of everything M3GAN does. Everything the AI M3GAN does in the movie is every good intention that every human has ever put into this thing, twisted in absolutely the worst possible way. So if horror and science fiction is supposed to be a big red flag and a warning and a signpost for, hey, we wrote a story about this so you don't do it in real life, it suits that purpose too. Really, really good. A lot of the movie just centers around Allison Williams and Violet McGraw, who play Gemma and Katie respectfully. Most of it's them, because you got Gemma's tech team, who are just a very sort of stereotypical movie tech team. They're nerds, they're having fun. Oh my god, we're going too far. You got the dickhead boss that's there and doing the typical dickhead boss thing because all rich people are bad. We've got the neighbor who's prying, saying, oh, they're maybe not doing something you're not supposed to do and whatever. And of course the neighbor has a rabid dog, and that factors into it as well. But all of that is like the ring around Saturn. The whole planet, the whole movie is based around the Gemma and Katie characters and how they deal with this M3GAN character, who is physically, I think, what do you want to say, the physical motion capture, I guess it would be. I don't know the term. Somebody please get in the comment section and tell me what the term should be. But like all the physical capture work of M3GAN is performed by an actress named Amy Donald, and the voice work for the most part, other than when there's like sound effects and recording happening from the doll and all that, the general voice of the M3GAN AI is a lady by the name of Jenna Davis. So shout out to Gemma, shout out to Katie, shout out to the two women that combined to make this M3GAN character, and I think this is a really good movie. I don't want to oversell you on this. If you miss this movie, you're not missing much. You're not missing the world catching on fire. But it is a good time, and we're only 7 days into the year. This was a nice soft launch for me to get back to the theater after the holidays. Before we get into all the big Marvel stuff, all the big Scream 6 is coming. I would love it if you guys, you know, I'll do the cliche YouTuber guy thing here for a second. Put it down in the box below, or hit me up on Twitter at Spaz Phoenix. Tell me what you're looking forward to this year. There's a lot of stuff. Nicolas Cage is playing Dracula, so we've got that to look forward to. This was a nice first movie of the year. If you do go see it, I think you'll have a good time. Don't expect a mind-blowing blockbuster. Expect that you're going to go and have a good time. It's good time out of 10. Anyways, I've gone way over 10 minutes. This is my few brief thoughts on the movie M3GAN. I've been Spaz, this has been Flix Fix, and I will talk to you later. Bye.